It's late, or it feels late in that way your body knows, even if the clock doesn't say so. You're lying here in the dark or the almost dark, and your mind is still running laps around the day. Maybe you're tired in that heavy, behind-the-eyes way, but somehow still wired. Thoughts replaying old conversations. Imagining ones that haven't happened yet. Checking tomorrow's worries like tabs open in a browser you can't quite close. You might have already rolled over a few times, checked the time, done the math. If I fall asleep now, I'll get this many hours. And with every minute that passes, the pressure quietly turns up, even if no one else can see it. You made it here anyway, to this small experiment. You press play, that's it. That's the whole requirement tonight. Not to be calm, not to be perfect, just to be here with a tired body and a busy mind. There's a simple agreement between us for the rest of this night. I'll keep talking. I'll stay with you. You don't have to follow every word. You don't have to focus. If you drift off in the middle of a sentence, that's not a failure. That's the point. There's no scorecard for how this goes. You're not being tested on how well you relax or how quickly you fall asleep. If you stay awake and only feel a little quieter, that counts. If you wake up later and realize you don't remember when you drifted, that counts too. For now, nothing needs to be fixed. You don't have to push thoughts away or force your mind to be blank. You can keep whatever you're carrying. You can set some of it down. Either way, you're already doing enough by lying here. So we'll start with what is real, right now. Your body, in this bed. The way the mattress meets your weight, exactly where you're resting on it. The places that press down more, and the places that barely touch. Notice how your head is held by the pillow. The shape of it under your skull, the way it gives a little when you settle in. Maybe one ear feels more covered than the other. Maybe there's a tiny pocket of coolness you can feel against your cheek. There's fabric against your skin somewhere. Sheets, a blanket, a shirt, or maybe just the smoothness of the bedding under you. Feel the difference between where your skin is covered and where it's open to the air. Warmth in some places, a slight chill in others. The air has a temperature of its own, cooler on your face, or maybe gently warm. You might notice a faint current of air on your nose or lips as you breathe. Noticing is enough. There is nothing to change. Around you, the room is doing what rooms do at night. The walls are holding their shape. The door is closed, or partly closed, just as you left it. Anything that needed to be checked has already been checked. There might be small sounds reaching you. A distant car, a hum from somewhere in the house, the soft creak of the building settling, or the faint rustle of fabric when you move. Let those sounds be part of the background, like distant weather you're watching from inside. Your breathing is already happening on its own. In and out. Maybe a little shallow, maybe a little uneven from the day. You don't have to smooth it out. Just feel the fact that it's there. Notice how your chest or your ribs move with each breath. The tiny lift as air comes in. The gentle fall as it leaves. You might feel it more in your chest, or more in your belly, or even in your back against the bed. Your shoulders might still be holding something from earlier. The way you sat, the way you drove, the way you worried. You don't have to drop that tension on command. Just let your awareness rest there for a moment, as if you're saying, I see you. Then move that quiet noticing down, without effort, to your arms, wherever they are. Maybe one is tucked under a pillow. Maybe one is resting on your stomach, or at your side. Feel their weight. The way gravity takes over when you stop asking them to do anything. Your hands have been busy all day, Typing, scrolling, carrying, washing, holding. Now they're just hands, at rest. Fingers curled or stretched, cool or warm, doing absolutely nothing important. Let your attention drift to your back, where it meets the mattress. There might be a few clear points of contact. Shoulders, spine, hips. Each one is a place where the bed is quietly saying, "I've got you." You don't have to sink on purpose. Just notice how much is already being held. Down through your hips, your legs, your feet. The long muscles that carried you through the day. They don't need to be ready for anything right now. They're simply stretched out or curled up, arranged in whatever way felt possible when you lay down. Here, just here. That's the whole thing for now. Not tomorrow, not the next problem to solve. Just the shape of your body, in this one spot, at this one time of night. Thoughts will keep coming. That's what they do. They might tap you on the shoulder with something you forgot. They might try to drag you into a scene from earlier, or a worry about what's ahead. You don't have to wrestle them. You can let them pass through, like someone talking in another room. If your attention slips away from my words, that's perfect. If you suddenly realize you haven't heard the last few sentences, that's perfect too. You can always just come back to one simple thing. The feel of your body resting on this bed, in this quiet pocket of the night. Imagine, just a little, that this bed is a kind of shoreline. You've brought everything from the day up to the edge. You don't have to throw it into the ocean. You can leave it piled there for now. You can stand here, between the soft waves of sleep and the sand of your worries, and simply pause. Your only job is to lie here. That's it. To let the words move around you like low, steady tide. Sometimes closer, sometimes farther away. Always here, even if you're not tracking every detail. As the room stays steady around you, your body can begin to trust the stillness. The same four walls, the same ceiling above, the same familiar shapes in the dark, even if you can't quite see them. Nothing out there is asking for you right now. Every small sensation is a sign that you've arrived in this moment. The weight of the blanket, the touch of the pillow, the gentle rhythm of your own breathing continuing, whether you notice it or not. If part of you is still on guard, still scanning, that part can sit by the door of your mind and watch for a while. It doesn't have to clock out. It can just loosen its grip, knowing there's nowhere else you need to be. The night will go on without your supervision. For these next moments, you get to be the one who rests. We'll stay close to these simple things. The body, the bed, the air, the quiet. Nothing fancy, nothing far away. Just the ordinary details of right now, softening, one by one. And as you keep lying here, listening a little or a lot, the edges of the day can start to blur. Thoughts can grow a bit slower, like footsteps fading down a hallway. You don't have to chase them. You can stay right here, where the bed is holding you, and the night is already underway. The weight of your body is already beginning to settle, like someone stepping through a familiar doorway at the end of a long day. You are arriving, not to a place out there, but to this small, specific space where your body meets the bed. Imagine it as the entrance to a quiet home at night. The door opens. Cooler air brushes against warm skin. Your shoulders cross that invisible line between outside and inside, and something in you knows. You have come in from the day. Feel the way your back rests against what supports you. The fabric under you is like the floor of this inner hallway, soft, steady, holding your weight without question. Your head is the first bag you set down. All day it has been carrying so much. Thoughts, plans, worries, stacked like items in your arms. Right now, Notice the exact point where the back of your head meets the pillow. That small contact is like placing something heavy on a low table by the door. You do not need to unpack it. You simply place it down. The muscles at the base of your skull can soften, as if fingers have just released the handle of a bag. The neck loosens, the jaw loosens, the forehead smooths out, like a coat slipping from your shoulders and landing on a hook. Each breath in is like stepping one more pace inside. Each breath out is like easing another strap from your body. Feel the weight of your shoulders against the mattress. They have carried the invisible weight of the day, like a person carrying grocery bags from the car, arms stretched, hands tired. Now sense how the surface beneath you takes that weight. It does not strain. It simply receives. Imagine you are standing just inside an open doorway with the night air still behind you. The outside world is on the other side of that threshold. The emails, the conversations, the unfinished tasks, they remain out there like street sounds muffled by distance. Inside, the air is different, still, a little warmer, gently quiet. This is the air you are breathing now. Your chest rises and falls. With each exhale, it is as if you are setting something down just inside this inner entrance. A thought, a tension, a small concern. You don't have to decide what each one is. You only feel the slight release, the tiny drop in effort, as if your hands are slowly being emptied. Notice your arms, the way they lie by your sides, or folded, or resting wherever they have landed. They are no longer reaching, no longer holding anything out to the world. Picture a narrow bench by that quiet door. One by one, the arms of the day, the reaching, the typing, the carrying, are placed there, not lost, just set down. The fabric under your forearms has its own gentle give. When your skin presses into it, there is a soft resistance, like wood that has been worn smooth by years of hands placing keys and bags in the same spot. Steady, predictable, unmoving. Your hands themselves can unclench, the way fingers open when they drop a set of keys into a small dish by the door. Listen, in your imagination, for that faint, satisfying sound, the signal that something has been put away for now. Feel the temperature of the air across the backs of your hands, across your fingers, maybe slightly cooler than the warmth held in the bedding, like the last trace of outside air that follows you in, then slowly fades as the door closes. Your legs stretch out like a hallway leading further into this inner home. But for now, stay here, near the doorway, the place where things are put down, the place where the day is gently removed. Notice the weight of your heels, how they press into the bed, into the sheet, into the softness beneath. The fabric gives just enough, like a rug that remembers the exact shape of your footprints. Your feet have carried you through every doorway today, real and imagined. Now they do not need to move. They rest at the threshold, like shoes left neatly by the door. If your toes are tense, curl them slightly, then allow them to lengthen again, as if you were slipping your feet out of tight shoes and placing them aside. The relief is small but clear, a quiet sigh, felt only inside the muscles. Listen with your attention for the distant sounds of the day. They might still echo faintly, like traffic heard through thick walls, or voices passing on the street outside a closed door. You do not need to push them away. Instead, imagine the door behind you swinging slowly, gently toward its frame, not slammed, not forced, just guided by its own weight, closing with a soft, certain click. That click is the moment the day stays outside. Whatever did not get finished remains on the other side. Whatever needs thinking about can wait in the hallway of tomorrow. Inside this inner room, there is only this bed, this body, this breath. Your spine rests along the length of the mattress like a long coat laid carefully along a rail. Every vertebra, every small curve is supported. The mattress rises to meet you like a floor that has been waiting all day for your return. Feel the contact at the back of your ribs, the steady, rhythmic expansion and release. With each exhale, it is as though another pocket is emptied, a memory taken out and set on the small table by the door to be looked at later, but not now. Your stomach softens, no longer needing to brace, like someone unbuckling a belt, loosening clothing as they step into the quiet of home. The fabric of whatever you are wearing rests more lightly against your skin. Nothing is pressing in. Here, in this stillness, the walls of your inner room hold their quiet. The ceiling does not ask anything of you. The floor, the bed beneath you, asks for nothing except your weight. Your breathing can be as slow as it wants to be. There is no schedule at this doorway, no one waiting for you to come back out. If a worry appears, see it as an object in your hands. A letter, a bag, a coat over your arm. You do not have to open it or sort it or solve it. Simply imagine walking it to that small table by the door and placing it there. You might even picture the slight sound of it being set down, the way a book makes a gentle thud when it meets wood. It is still there. It has not vanished. It is just not in your hands. Feel again the weight of your hands where they rest. Empty now. Fingers soft, palms relaxed, like hands that have finally stopped reaching for the doorknob because they are already inside. The air around your face is calm. If you pay close attention, you might sense the faintest movement as you breathe, the whisper of air across your upper lip, the coolness at the tip of your nose on the inhale, the warmer air on the exhale. This is the quiet draft of an inner hallway, settled and undisturbed. Behind your closed eyes, the light of the day has dimmed, not gone, just outside the door. In here, the light is softer, like the gentle glow that waits for you when you come home after dark. Your whole body is inside now. The doorway is behind you. The door is closed. Nothing from outside can lean in and tap you on the shoulder. Nothing needs to cross that threshold tonight. All that matters is this simple act of being here, like a person who has finally set every bag down, kicked off their shoes, and leaned their full weight into the nearest soft place. Feel that full weight now. Head, shoulders, arms, back, hips, legs, feet. Each part resting as if it has been put carefully away in its familiar spot by the door. You have arrived in your own quiet interior. The day is on the other side of the door. In this room of softness and steady air, your only task is to stay. Breath by breath, you can sink a little deeper into this inner home. The bed beneath you holds its shape. The walls of this imagined room stand silent. And you, here at the end of your day, can simply be the one who has come inside and set everything down. The weight of your body has already begun to settle. And now, around that resting body, imagine a room forming. Not a place you have to travel to. More like the way a blanket is drawn up around someone who is already lying down. A room that gathers itself quietly around you, made just for rest. Feel the surface beneath you as the floor of this room. Steady, supportive. It holds the shape of you without asking you to hold anything back. The mattress, the pillow, the sheets. They become the ground and the furniture of this small indoor world. The air has its own gentle presence here. It touches the skin of your face and your hands, cool enough to feel fresh, warm enough that you do not need to curl against a chill. As you breathe in, The air feels smooth, like stepping into a room where someone has already warmed the space for you. Around you, walls rise, quiet and close, not pressing in, just enclosing. They stand like patient shoulders, taking the weight of everything outside. You do not have to hold the roof up. You do not have to listen beyond these walls. Imagine the light in this room, soft, low, and kind. Maybe it comes from a shaded lamp in a far corner, its glow filtered through fabric. Maybe it is the dim afterglow of a day that has already passed, pressed gently against curtains. There are no harsh edges to this light. It wraps around the furniture and around you, smoothing every outline. Your body lies within this quiet architecture. Your head, resting where it is, has its own small territory of comfort. Notice the exact point where the back of your head meets the pillow. That contact, that gentle pressure, is like a conversation that needs no words. The pillow takes the shape of your skull and stays there, faithful and steady. The weight of your shoulders sinks down. They do not have to square themselves or hold posture or respond to anyone. Here, they can spread slightly, as if the bed were wider than you first thought. Fabric brushes your skin, soft and familiar. The fibers remember your warmth and give it back to you. Your arms, wherever they rest, are part of the furniture now. If your hands lie at your sides, feel how the backs of them rest against the sheet. That thin layer of cloth is like a quiet rug beneath them. If your hands rest on your body, feel the gentle rise and fall beneath your palms, as if you are holding a small, calm animal that only breathes and does not demand anything more. Each exhale settles the room a little deeper. With every breath out, the space feels slightly heavier in the nicest way, like curtains drawing themselves a bit closer. The walls keep their quiet. The ceiling above you is steady, unhurried, not going anywhere. In this room, sounds from outside are like distant footsteps in a hallway that does not lead here. They may come and go, but they do not enter. If you notice a sound, imagine it reaching the walls and softening, like a voice heard through thick doors, losing its sharpness, becoming part of a background hum that does not disturb you. The floor under everything is strong. It carries the bed, the furniture, and you. You do not have to think about it, but if you choose, you can sense that sturdiness beneath you, a quiet assurance that nothing is shifting, nothing is sliding away. The whole room holds still around you. Your legs have their own rest in this space. Feel the length of them, from hips to knees, from knees to ankles. Where they touch the bed, the fabric gives way just enough, like cushions shaped by long use. Your calves and heels press down with their own small gravity. Notice how the mattress yields and then stops, saying, "This is enough. I can carry this." Above you, the ceiling watches over everything without needing your attention. You do not have to look at it. Just know that it is there, solid and unmoving, keeping the sky and the weather and the long, loud world on the other side. In here, the climate is simple. The gentle warmth of your own body, the calm touch of the air. The corners of the room are dim and restful. Nothing hides there that needs to be managed. They are just soft edges where light fades and shadows become comfortable. If your mind tries to wander out toward the edges, let it see only quiet shapes. A chair, perhaps, with a folded blanket. A small table with nothing urgent on it. Everything in this room has finished its work for the day. Your jaw can ease in this place. Notice the way it hangs when you are not speaking. The tongue resting against the bottom of the mouth, the lips gently meeting. Here, No one is asking questions. No one is waiting for answers. The room is content with your silence. The air in this room moves slowly. With each breath, you can almost feel a tiny circulation around you. Inhale, and the air comes in, smooth and mild. Exhale, and a faint warmth leaves you, then lingers, softening the space just a little more. It is as if the room is learning your breathing pattern and adjusting itself to match. Think of the walls again, not as barriers, but as arms around the night. They keep out drafts, bright lights, passing traffic, glowing screens. All the things that tug at your attention stay outside. Inside, the surfaces are simple, maybe painted in a calm color, maybe lined with shelves that hold only quiet objects, nothing that calls your name. Your chest rises and falls, and the room seems to breathe with you. As you inhale, the space feels a fraction wider, as if the walls lean back a little to give you room. As you exhale, everything draws in closer, not tight, just snug, like a blanket being smoothed over you by someone who knows exactly how you like it. Your feet, at the far end of this resting body, are fully at home here. If they are covered, feel the weight of the blanket over them, like a gentle hand resting without moving. If they are uncovered, feel the air touching the tops of them, the cooler temperature there, the way the skin notices even the smallest change. The room pays attention to these details and adjusts without fuss. Nothing in this room asks you to remember anything. The walls do not hold calendars. The furniture does not carry to-do lists. The ceiling does not display the hours. Time in here is measured only in breaths, in the slow settling of muscles, in the way your body grows heavier against the bed. If a thought arrives, it can be treated like a visitor who has come to the door of this room. You can imagine the thought standing out in the hallway under a brighter light, with shoes still on. The door to your resting room is gently closed. The visitor may wait or wander away, but the handle does not turn. Inside, the floor stays quiet under you. Your eyes, whether open or closed, can soften. If they are closed, feel the slight weight of the lids, the darkness like the dimmest part of the room where light no longer reaches. If they are open, they can rest on some simple, near shape. The curve of a curtain, the outline of a lamp, the texture of the ceiling. Nothing in view needs to be analyzed. Everything is already understood. The fabric touching your skin is part of this room's kindness. The sheet under you, the cover over you, the pillowcase beneath your cheek. Each has its own texture, smooth or slightly worn, or cool in some places, and warmer where your body has been resting. These small, familiar sensations remind your nervous system that it has been here before, that it knows how to rest in this place. Here, in this room made just for rest, your body is the honored guest and the only task. The furniture holds you, the air meets you, the light softens around you. Everything that needed watching has been watched. Everything that needed finishing has reached a stopping point for tonight. As you feel the weight of your body deepen into the bed, notice how the room seems to deepen with it. The walls feel thicker, the ceiling feels higher and yet somehow closer in its quiet care. The floor feels more solid beneath everything. You are cradled in this simple, four-walled sanctuary, with nothing pressing in, nothing pulling you out. Stay with the touch of fabric, the pressure of the mattress, the slow, steady movement of your breath in this gentle, enclosed space. This room will keep holding you as long as you need, while your body continues to soften into rest. The air around you carries a slight coolness now. as if the day itself has stepped back a little, as if the world has shifted into a quiet garden at evening, and you are right there in the middle of it, without needing to move at all. In this garden, the light is soft and fading. Shapes are still clear, but their edges are no longer sharp. The way your body feels is like that too. Clear enough to notice, but not demanding, not insisting on anything. Your breath moves through you like a gentle breeze moving along a garden path. Inhale, and the air drifts in, brushing lightly past leaves and stems. Exhale, and the same air slips away, leaving everything just a little more still than before. The ground of this garden is the surface beneath you, steady, unmoving. It holds your weight the way rich soil holds the roots of a plant, without effort, without question. Feel the weight of your heels. They rest like small stones placed carefully in the earth, exactly where they belong. The fabric or cushion beneath them gives just enough, like soil that has been watered and is ready to receive the night. Your legs are like tall, quiet plants at the edge of the path. During the day, they might have reached and moved and carried you. Now they stand in place, stalk softening, leaves folding in. Notice any small pockets of tightness there, like knots in a stem, and breathe gently around them. As you inhale, imagine the air moving up from the ground of this garden, cool and calm. As you exhale, feel your legs sink a little deeper into that ground, like roots relaxing into the dark, welcoming soil. No need to force anything. Gravity does the work for you. Your hips and pelvis are like the low, sturdy stones that border a garden bed. They hold the structure, but even they are easing now. Any effort that kept them upright through the day is no longer needed. They can settle, supported from below, like stones warmed by the last light, slowly releasing their heat into the evening air. Follow your breath again. Inhale, and the breeze moves through this quiet garden, brushing past those stones, past the plants, cool against the surface of the soil. Exhale, and the air grows still again, and your hips grow heavier, as if they are sinking one small grain at a time into the earth that supports them. Your back stretches along the garden like a central path. It may have bent and turned, carried weight, held you upright. Now it lies long and open, like a path that no one is walking on anymore tonight. Each segment of your spine is a smooth stone laid in that path, one after another, fitting together in an easy line. As you breathe in, feel the air travel along that path from tailbone to the base of your neck. As you breathe out, each stone in that path settles more firmly into the ground. If there is a place that feels raised or tense, imagine the soil beneath it softening, giving way, making room. The stone does not have to press down. It simply rests, and the ground adjusts to hold it. Your shoulders are like the quiet shrubs at the edge of this garden. During the day, they may have bristled with small tasks, leaves catching every breeze, always alert. Now their branches are still. Leaves fold inward, their work finished, their surfaces cooled by the evening air. Notice the front of your chest, the gentle rise and fall, like a cluster of leaves lifting slightly with each breath of wind, then settling back. Inhale, and the leaves open a touch, taking in the last of the light. Exhale, and they soften, edges drooping, ready for night. Inside your chest, your heart has been the gardener all day, checking, planning, tending, keeping things alive and moving. Here, in this evening garden, even the gardener can set the tools down. The rhythm continues, but it is slower, quieter, like someone walking the path one last time before closing the gate. Your arms rest along your sides like branches that no longer need to reach. The muscles of your upper arms, your forearms, your hands, all of them can hang loosely now. If there is any small clenching in the hands, any fingers curled as if still holding something, imagine them as petals that have been open all day. Now, with the dimming light, they gently fold in. Feel the weight of your hands, their quiet gravity. They rest on the surface beneath them as if on soft garden soil, leaving the faintest impression. The ground remembers their shape without asking them to hold anything. The back of your neck, the base of your skull, are like the last patch of garden where light lingers. Sometimes this place holds more than it needs to, tilted forward over thoughts, bent toward concerns. Now, in this evening, it can ease. As you inhale, imagine the cool air flowing up along the path of your spine, reaching the back of your neck like a breeze passing through tall grass. As you exhale, feel that area soften, as if the stems are bending, bowing to the night. The muscles there can release their careful grip, the way a plant releases the tension that held it upright in the heat of the day. Your face is part of this garden too. The small muscles around your eyes are like tiny buds that have been watching the light. They can close now, like blossoms folding their petals, turning inward. The forehead smooths, as if a gentle hand had brushed across the soil, leveling the small ridges left by the day. Notice your jaw. If it is tight, imagine it as a gate at the edge of the garden that has stood open all day, creaking slightly on its hinges. With your next exhale, feel that gate swing almost closed. Not forced, just resting nearer to its frame, no longer holding itself wide. Each breath moves through this evening garden with its own rhythm. Inhale, and the air passes through, cool and easy, touching every leaf, every stone, every petal. Exhale, and the entire space grows a shade quieter, as if even the air is settling down for the night. Behind your closed eyes, there is a kind of darkness that feels like rich soil, deep, still, ready to receive whatever needs to sink into it and rest. Thoughts may still move like small insects crossing the path. They are part of the garden too. They come and go, following their own lines. You do not have to chase them or clear them away. Each time you notice your mind wandering, you can return to the simple movement of breath, the breeze along the path, the rise of leaves, the fall of leaves. Inhale and feel where the air touches you most clearly. Exhale and feel where your body meets the ground most deeply. The temperature of this inner garden is just right for you. Not too warm, not too cold. The kind of air that makes your skin feel quietly held, like a leaf resting in the soft coolness of evening, no longer under the direct gaze of the sun. All around, the plants of this garden are settling. Stems grow heavier. Leaves stop their tiny rustling. Even the smallest sprout stands still, trusting the night to cover it. Your body mirrors this. Muscles that once braced now loosen, like vines uncoiling from a trellis, inch by inch. Organs that worked without pause now move in a slower, steadier rhythm. Breath goes in, breath goes out, like the garden breathing with you. Nothing needs to be fixed here. Nothing needs to be solved. This evening garden does not ask you for anything. It simply surrounds you, holds you, grows quiet with you. As the light continues to fade in this place, your awareness can grow softer too. Not gone, just dimmed, like colors in the twilight. Edges blur. Shapes become suggestions instead of demands. You are here, in this quiet garden at evening, body resting like earth that has done its work, breath moving like the gentlest breeze, and all around you, everything that needed watching has been watched. Everything that needed tending has been tended, at least for now. For this stretch of time, you can be like the garden itself, no longer working, simply existing in the cool, dim air, present and peaceful as night slowly settles in. Each exhale settles a little more space inside you. As the breath moves in and out, a wide, quiet sky begins to open behind your closed eyes. Not a sky you have to see or imagine clearly, just the felt sense of something spacious, high above and all around the small movements of your thoughts. The weight of your body rests below, steady and grounded. Above that weight, the mind stretches like a soft, endless blue. Breath rises through you, like a gentle current of air moving through that sky. Nothing rushed, nothing sharp, just a slow drift. Thoughts appear here and there, the way clouds appear. Some are small, like thin wisps that barely hold together. Some feel heavy, like the thick grey ones that seem to sit in one place, all of them made of the same passing stuff. As you breathe in, notice how a thought forms. It might be a memory, or a worry, or a plan. See if you can feel it as a shape in the sky of the mind, rather than a command you must follow. A shape that has edges, and softness, and a distance. Breathing out, the chest loosens a little more. Shoulders soften, as if they, too, are part of this open sky, no longer trying to hold it all up. The muscles along the back release, like a long cloud line slowly thinning at the edges. You are here breathing, while the sky above continues to hold whatever passes through it. High overhead, a very light breeze moves. It does not hurry the clouds, it only touches them. Thoughts drift in the same way. They come together, they break apart, they move on. Notice how some thoughts move quickly, like small, bright birds crossing the sky. They flash through and are gone before you can really follow them. Others circle, like birds riding a current, looping over the same patch of air again and again. You might feel those circling thoughts in your forehead or around your eyes as a faint tension. Bring your attention to the space just behind your brow, that quiet, dim place where the mind seems to sit. As you breathe in, feel that space widen, just a little. As you breathe out, imagine the circling birds finding a higher current, gliding without effort instead of flapping. The muscles around your eyes can rest now. Eyelids heavy, they close over the world like a soft horizon line. Behind them, the inner sky grows deeper, a darker blue, almost velvety. Thoughts that once felt bright and loud begin to soften at the edges, like distant shapes at dusk. There may be a thought that keeps trying to return, a worry that feels like a dark cloud, thick and close. Rather than pushing it away, see if you can notice where in your body it lands. Maybe in your throat, or your chest, or your stomach. Bring the breath there. Inhale, and feel that place gently expand, as if the cloud had more room around it. Exhale, and sense the weight of that cloud lowering, spreading thinner across a wider sky. It is still there, but it no longer blocks out everything else. Far off, at the very edge of this inner sky, you might sense faint, distant shapes, old stories, familiar worries, half-formed plans. They are like weather on a far horizon, too far to touch you tonight. You can notice their outline without needing to travel to them. The air of this inner sky has its own quiet temperature, soft and mild, neither cold nor hot. It brushes along the inside of your ribs as you breathe. The ribs lift a little with each inhale, like gentle air rising under wings. Feel the weight of your hands where they rest. They are like small anchors far below this wide, airy space. Because they are held, the sky of the mind does not have to hold everything. Clouds can pass, birds can fly, the sky remains. Thoughts about tomorrow may appear, like a line of clouds in the distance. They can stay there, on that far line. If one drifts closer, you can simply name it quietly, tomorrow. Then watch it slide a little farther away again, back to the horizon. With each breath, the space between you and your thoughts becomes kinder. Not a wall, not a fight, just a gentle height, the way the sky is high above the ground. From here, even a storm looks different, contained, finite. Notice the back of your head resting. The surface beneath it is like the earth under this sky, solid and unwavering. The neck muscles soften, no longer craning upward to track every passing cloud. They can release into stillness, while the mind sky continues its slow, quiet turning. In this sky, some thoughts are like faint trails of vapor. You sense them for a moment, then they fade before you can even put words to them. Others are sharper, like a single bird call echoing across the air. You hear it, and then the echo thins, and then it is gone. If a sharp thought appears, especially one that tugs at the heart, try meeting it the way the sky meets a bird. It passes through. It is noticed, but it does not leave a scratch on the air. Breath continues to rise and fall, like a slow, steady wind. Not strong enough to change anything quickly, just steady enough to keep everything moving. Inhale, and feel the sky of the mind brighten a shade. Exhale, and feel it deepen again. The jaw loosens now, as if unhooking from a cloud it had been trying to bite down on. Tongue resting heavy and quiet. The tiny muscles near your ears relax, like small birds folding their wings for the night. Sound becomes softer, more distant, as your awareness turns upward into that inner expanse. Here, in this wide sky, even confusion has room. It might look like tangled flocks crossing each other's paths. From the ground, that might feel chaotic. From the sky's point of view, it is only movement, crossing and uncrossing, then thinning out. You can rest as the sky, not as the weather. The weather will always change. Clouds will gather and break. Birds will arrive and depart. But the sky itself does not chase or cling or argue. It simply holds. It holds storms without becoming stormy. It holds clear days without needing to keep them. Feel the slow deepening weight of your body as the breath grows quieter. The more the body settles, the more spacious the mind sky becomes. Thoughts have farther to travel now, which makes them gentler by the time they reach you. They arrive like distant shapes, softened by the long air between you and them. If a worry insists on staying close, you might imagine it as a single dark cloud directly overhead. Notice its outline, its size, its texture. Then, with one slow breath in, feel the sky around it expand in all directions. With the breath out, sense that cloud stretching thinner, its color lightening, until bits of clear sky begin to show through. You do not have to chase that clearing. You do not have to hurry anything. The sky has all the time it needs, and you, resting here, move with that same unhurried rhythm. Each inhale, the chest rises, like a calm, slow lifting of air. Each exhale, the body settles, while the mind grows wider and quieter. Clouds drift, birds roost. Distant weather stays at the edge. Above it all, the sky of your awareness remains open, vast, and gently holding every passing thought, even as you drift toward deeper rest. Each exhale moves through you like a quiet current, slow, steady, familiar. Breath arriving, breath leaving. In this stillness, imagine a river inside you, not something far away, not a picture in the distance. A river that begins right where your breath begins. As you inhale, feel the air slide in, cool and smooth, like water rounding a gentle bend. As you exhale, feel it stream out, soft and warm, like a slow river carrying leaves downstream. Your chest rises, then falls. Your ribs widen, then soften. The whole front of your body moves like a shoreline, lifting and settling with each passing wave of air. This river is not in a hurry. It has learned the shape of its banks. It knows exactly how to curve around each stone, each root, each quiet place it passes. Your breath knows the shape of you in the same way. It traces the inside of your throat. It brushes the back of your chest. It slips under your collarbones, around your heart, down into your belly. Inhale and feel the river move upstream, gathering. Exhale and feel it turn and carry things away. Begin at the back of your head, where it meets the pillow. Sense the gentle pressure there, the way the surface beneath you receives your weight without effort. Imagine the river touching that place from within, a thin, cool stream brushing the base of your skull. With your next exhale, anything tight there loosens, like a small twig lifted and taken downstream. Forehead now, the space behind your brow. So many thoughts pass through there in a day, like traffic on a crowded bridge. For this moment, the bridge is empty. Only the river moves beneath it. As you breathe out, feel a slow flow behind your forehead. Any furrow, any small crease, softens and drifts, like a leaf that has finished its season and finally lets the water carry it. Around your eyes, there is a quiet pool. The muscles that hold your gaze, that focus and scan and read, can rest. Imagine the river widening there, a calm, glassy stretch. No rapids, no noise, just a broad, still surface. Your eyes can sink inward, as if resting on that water from the inside. With each exhale, the pool grows smoother, less disturbed. Tiny ripples of effort flatten and glide away. Your cheeks and jaw now. Notice the weight of your tongue resting in your mouth. The way your jaw hangs, just a little, when it is not trying to hold or form words. Inside, the river runs along the inner edges of your mouth, cool and clean. With every out-breath, it washes away the remains of conversations, of words you wished you had said, or wish you had not. They dissolve like grains of sand, carried off until you cannot even feel their shape. The back of your neck, the sides of your throat. These are narrow places, like a river slipping through a small gorge. Sometimes the water rushes here fast and tight. Tonight, it moves slowly. With each inhale, imagine the river rising gently along the inside of your neck, pressing outward with a soft, rounded pressure. With each exhale, feel it slide down again, smoothing the inner walls, taking with it any scratch of tension, any small catch of worry. Your shoulders rest like large stones on either side of the river's path. They do not need to lift or hold anything right now. Picture the water swirling around them from within, patient and persistent. On the in-breath, the river swells, circling under your collarbones, behind your shoulder blades. On the out-breath, it slips past, and whatever your shoulders were carrying loosens, breaks apart, and drifts away in tiny pieces you no longer have to name. Move your attention down your arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists. Imagine the river sending out narrow branches, small side streams that run through the long bones, the soft tissues. They move with a faint, pulsing rhythm, like light rain feeding a creek. With each exhale, those side streams gather any leftover effort in your arms, any residue of reaching, typing, lifting, holding. The current takes it, draws it back into the main river, and carries it away from you. Even your hands can feel this. Notice the quiet weight of them, resting where they are. Imagine the river passing just beneath your palms, under the skin. With every breath out, tiny grains of tension slip from your fingers, like silt falling into clear water. They cloud the river for a moment, then are gone, swept downstream, until they are no longer yours to manage. Return now to the center of your chest. The river runs wide here, deep and steady. Each inhale is the river filling, rising against its banks. Each exhale is the gentle lowering, the waterline sliding down, taking with it what it has gathered. If there is a heaviness there, it can rest on the river's surface for a while. You do not have to push it away or hold it close. Just watch from the inside as the current slowly tugs at its edges. Not tearing, not forcing, simply softening it, the way water softens the sharp corners of a stone over time. Lower into your belly. Feel the way it expands as you breathe in, like a slow, quiet swell. As you breathe out, it falls, like water finding its level again. Inside, the river curves through this space, warm now, not cool. The water here has traveled a long way. It has seen every part of you. With each exhale, it carries off the echoes of the day that have settled in your gut. Little clumps of unease, old phrases, half-remembered worries. They break apart in the warmth, like sugar dissolving, until there is nothing left but a gentle, even flow. Your back presses into whatever is supporting you. Notice the long line from the base of your skull down through your spine. Imagine the river running right alongside that line, like a companion path. Each vertebra is a small stepping stone at the river's edge. As you breathe, the water rises to touch each one, then recedes. Any tightness around those stones loosens, like soil soaked and softened by steady rain. Lower back, hips, pelvis. This is where the river bends, turning toward rest. Sometimes this bend holds old debris, things you meant to do, things you wish had gone differently. For now, the river does what it always does. It moves. It does not argue with the bend. It does not resist the stones. It simply continues, and in continuing, it carries. Feel your hips sink a little heavier, your pelvis supported, like a smooth rock settled at the bottom of a clear pool. The water flows around it, unbothered, unhurried. Down into your thighs now, strong muscles, long bones. The river sends its steady current through them, washing through the deep fibers that worked for you today. As you exhale, imagine that work loosening, like knots in a rope soaking until they slip apart. Your knees, your shins, your ankles. Each joint is a small narrowing where the river must pay attention. And it does. Feel the breath move through these places, patient, precise. With every breath out, any stiffness there is lifted, like a small branch caught, and then suddenly freed, spinning away downstream. Finally, your feet, the heels pressing down, The arch is resting, the toes unfurling. Here, the river reaches its wide, quiet mouth. The water that has travelled through you arrives here and spreads out, calm and open. With each exhale, imagine everything the river has gathered from your body today, drifting out through the soles of your feet into that open water. It does not return. It does not ask you to sort it. The river knows what to do with what you give it. All you need is this rhythm. Inhale. The river rises, exploring the inner banks of your body. Exhale. It turns and carries things away. Again and again and again. You are simply the landscape it moves through. The stones can rest. The banks can soften. The river will keep flowing through this moment and the next, quietly doing what it has always done. Breath arriving, breath leaving, a current that carries it all away. Each exhale settles a little more now, as if something inside you has started to understand the rhythm of release, the way the breath moves out and then returns on its own. In this quiet, imagine you are standing at the beginning of a narrow path. It stretches ahead, pale and soft, under a wide, gentle moon. The world around you is hushed, as if it too has closed its eyes. Feel the breath enter, slow and steady. As it does, sense your feet in this imagined place. The ground is firm beneath you, a simple country lane dusted with light. On one side, the dark edge of a forest. On the other, an open field resting under the sky. With your next exhale, you take the first slow step. Your heel touches down, then the ball of your foot, then your toes. The motion is unhurried, like a thought that has all the time it needs. Your breath keeps pace, a quiet companion. Inhale. The cool night air of this moonlit path fills your chest. It has that faint, earthy scent of leaves and distant soil, settled and calm. Your ribs widen just a little to make room. Exhale. Your shoulders soften, as though they have been carrying a bag you finally set down by the side of the lane. Another step forward. The ground receives your weight without question. The forest edge to your left is dark and deep. Tree trunks stand like silent watchers, their branches holding patches of moonlight. You can almost feel the stillness between them, the soft layering of leaves and moss. Nothing in that darkness asks anything of you. On your right, the country lane opens to a quiet stretch of field. Low grasses lean under the night, touched by silver light. Here and there, a small stone catches the moon and gives it back in a tiny, steady glint. The air across the field moves in slow, cool threads. Your breathing finds the same pace as your steps. Inhale as one foot lifts. Exhale as it settles down again. A simple, steady pattern. Notice the weight of your body in this walk, how your legs feel heavy in a pleasant way, like they finally trust the ground. Your hips sway just a little with each step, joints smooth and easy. The muscles along your thighs and calves unwind, fiber by fiber. With every breath in, your chest opens to the night above the lane. With every breath out, something softens further down, across your lower back, along the line of your spine, through the quiet center of your belly. The moonlight along the path is gentle, not bright. It lays across the packed earth like a thin layer of milk-white dust. Your steps disturb nothing. You move through it as if the light itself has made room for you. As you walk, the worries that once felt loud begin to fall behind you. They do not vanish all at once. They simply grow smaller, like houses you pass on a long road at night. Soon they are only distant shapes, then only a memory of shapes. Bring your attention to your hands now. Imagine them hanging loosely at your sides as you walk this lane. Fingers uncurling, palms no longer clenching around invisible tasks. Each exhale is like smoothing your hand over tall grass, easy and unforced. Your jaw relaxes as if the cool night air is moving across your face. The muscles around your mouth soften. Your tongue rests heavier in its place, no longer braced against the roof of your mouth. The moonlight touches your closed eyes even from inside, as a sense of spaciousness behind your forehead. With the next breath in, feel the air slide along the back of your throat, gentle and cool. As you breathe out, your neck lengthens a little. The back of your head feels supported, as though the night itself is a quiet hand holding it. Your gaze, in this inner landscape, stays soft and ahead, following the silver curve of the path. The forest edge rustles now and then with the smallest sounds, a leaf settling, a branch easing back into place. These sounds are so soft they almost blend with your own breathing. Ahead, the lane bends slightly, like a slow, thoughtful question. You follow it without effort. Your feet know how to move, how to rise and fall in this calm rhythm. Step, breathe in. Step, breathe out. Notice how your chest no longer needs to work hard. The breath is gliding in on its own. Your lungs fill the way the field fills with moonlight, gradually, evenly, without strain. On the exhale, your body answers by loosening just a little more. The muscles around your shoulders and upper back feel as though they are untying themselves, one small knot at a time. You do not have to search for them. They reveal themselves and soften in their own order, with each gentle step along the lane. Imagine the path beneath you as cool to the touch, yet kind to your feet. Not sharp, not rough, just solid, steady earth, holding your weight without effort. Each footfall presses a faint mark into the dusted surface, and then the mark begins to blur, as if the night is smoothing it over. Thoughts may still wander in, like distant shapes at the edge of the trees. You notice them, the way you might notice a branch or a stone by the side of the lane. And then your focus returns to the feeling of walking, the rise and fall of your chest, the soft swing of your arms. Your breathing has become the quiet sound of footsteps on this path. In, out, a soft, repetitive pattern that the body understands better than words. The country lane stretches on, but there is no rush to reach the end. The journey itself is the resting, the simple act of placing one foot, then the other, under the easy glow of the moon, like tracing the same familiar route in your mind until it becomes second nature. As you continue, the forest edge feels closer, almost wrapping around the lane, not closing in, just leaning nearer. Branches arching above in loose, high shapes, catching bits of moonlight. It feels like walking under a thin silver canopy, sheltered and quiet. Your breath deepens on its own here. The air of this path seems to know exactly how much you need. Your ribs widen and settle, like the slow opening and closing of a gate that no longer creaks. Inside your chest, there is more room than before. Notice the space behind your eyes, how it feels like the darkest part of the forest, still and undisturbed. Thoughts may cross that space, but they pass through like brief shadows between the trees. The deeper stillness remains, steady and untouched. Every step forward along the moonlit path is a small act of release, a quiet agreement between your body and the ground. With each one, your muscles choose ease over effort. Your breath chooses softness over strain. The lane continues, and you continue with it. Slow, unhurried, present only to this moment. The silver light, the gentle dark, the steady rhythm of walking through the night, with nothing to carry but your own easing breath. Each exhale softens the edges of things, the room, the day, even the outline of your body, as if the world around you has stepped back a little and given you space to hover in the middle of your own quiet. Above you, imagine a wide open sky, not bright, not busy, just a gentle, endless blue that has forgotten about time. In that sky, there is a nest made not of twigs, but of softness, threads of warmth, curved strands of quiet, little loops of rest, woven together just for you. You are lying there in that nest, high above everything that used to pull at you. The air holds you up without effort. Nothing presses. Nothing tugs. You can feel a faint, steady buoyancy beneath you, like the nest has its own calm breath, rising and settling, carrying you with it. The weight of your body loosens. Your back, your hips, your legs. They know the shape of this softness now. They sink in, just enough. Not disappearing, not falling. Simply finding the place where they fit. Around the nest, clouds drift by in slow, unhurried paths. They move the way a thought does when you do not chase it, appearing, changing shape, passing on. Some of them float closer, pale and quiet. They never touch you. They just pass beneath, like cushions of light, adding to the feeling that there is nothing hard, nothing sharp, anywhere near. You are held from below. You are unbothered from above. Even the air has become gentle here. It brushes the edges of your skin in the softest way, barely there. Cool enough to feel clean, warm enough to feel kind. If you listen, there is a hush in this height, a kind of sky silence that is not empty at all. Far beneath, the world is still moving, but it has grown so distant that it no longer has corners or details. Just a soft blur, like a memory that has stopped asking to be remembered. Up here, there is only the slow swing of your nest, a tiny sway, almost imagined. Forward a breath, back a breath. The movement is so small you could miss it, but your body knows. Somewhere deep in your muscles, a very old understanding wakes up, the way you once knew how to be carried, how to be rocked without needing to hold on. Your shoulders loosen their grip, your jaw slackens. Even the tiny muscles around your eyes forget their work. The nest cradles every part of you that has been tired of holding itself together. Under your knees, along the curve of your spine, beneath the back of your head, where worries like to collect. All of it is cushioned. All of it is supported by this gentle, skyborn cradle. You may notice how the sense of where your body ends begins to blur. The edges of your arms feel less certain. The outline of your legs grows softer, as though the nest and you are slowly agreeing to share the same boundary. The fibers beneath you feel almost like cloud themselves, soft, springy, forgiving. They rise to meet the weight of your heels, the curve of your palms, the back of your ribs. They remember your shape, and they say quietly, yes, this is where you can rest. Above, a single cloud pauses. It stretches itself into a wide, pale canopy, shading your nest with a tender, dim light. Not dark, not bright, just enough to ease your eyes, even if they are already closed. From this height, time loosens its hold. Minutes do not line up in a row anymore. They gather like small feathers, drifting down, landing in the nest around you, and then disappearing into the softness. You are not late for anything here. You are not early. You are simply suspended in the middle of a quiet that has no schedule. Thoughts still appear now and then. They rise like distant kites, far below, their strings cut, moving wherever the air decides. You can see them without needing to reach. Little colored shapes against the blur of the world. They tilt, they spin, they drift away. Nothing in you has to follow. The nest rocks, almost imperceptibly. Every gentle shift reminds your body that gravity is a kind companion tonight. It does not drag. It does not demand. It simply keeps you nestled against this soft, invisible embrace, so you do not float away. You might sense a slight coolness on your cheeks, as if a high, clean breeze has brushed past. It carries the faintest scent of something crisp and quiet, like air that has never been hurried, air that has never had to squeeze between buildings or traffic or crowded rooms. Here, the sky is wide enough for every breath to spread out and rest. Your breathing finds its own rhythm, not forced, not measured, just moving in and out, the way the nest sways, the way the clouds drift. In, the nest rises a fraction. Out, it settles again. With each cycle, the difference between your body and the cradle beneath you grows less important. Your hands might feel lighter or heavier, or as though they are simply there without needing a label. The same with your feet, your chest, your face. All of them part of this floating bundle of warmth, suspended in an endless, quiet blue. If a worry tries to climb up to you, it finds only air. It reaches, and then realizes there is nothing to grip. The height is too gentle, the distance too kind, so it turns into a tiny wisp of cloud far below, and joins the slow, drifting current that carries everything away from the center of this stillness. Here, in this nest in the sky, you are held between nothing and everything, between earth and stars, between what has been and what might be. For now, there is only this soft, weightless pause. The sky, steady around you. The nest, quiet beneath you. Your breath, moving like a small, patient hammock, rocking you deeper into the kind of rest that does not ask for anything in return. The weight of your body has been set down. Somewhere behind your closed eyes, the world has grown quiet. And above that quiet, a wide, dark sky is opening. Each breath moves like a slow lift upward. On the inhale, there is a gentle rise. On the exhale, something loosens its grip and drifts a little farther away. With every soft breath, you are moving. Not with effort, not with strain, but the way a thought moves when it's almost forgotten. The night around you is vast, not empty, vast. A deep, velvety darkness stretching in every direction, without edge, without walls, without ceiling. It holds you the way a soft pocket holds a small stone. Nothing pressing, just presence all around. Far below, the noise of the day has become a tiny cluster of lights. Very far away, like a town seen from high above, its streets and worries reduced to faint threads, barely visible against the dark. You can sense that it exists, but it no longer reaches you. The weight of your hands has its own quiet gravity. They rest where they are, and the night seems to gather under them, supporting their heaviness. Your feet, your legs, your shoulders. Each part of you is cradled in the same invisible softness, as if the darkness itself has hands, wide and steady, holding every angle of you from below. Above you, stars appear, not all at once. First one, then another. Small, steady points of light, scattered like tiny thoughts that never learned how to worry. They don't rush. They don't explain. They simply shine, patient and unbothered, in the great dark field. You float in that field now. Your body knows where it is, but the edges are beginning to blur. The line where skin ends and space begins is less certain. As if the night is gently smudging the outline of you, blending you with the air, with the dark, with the quiet. Time loosens here. Minutes, hours, plans, memories. They drift away like faint trails of starlight. If a thought appears, it is only a small star, very far off. You can see it. You don't need to move toward it. It can stay where it is, a tiny point in the distance, while you remain here, held in this wide, dark calm. The air around you has a soft coolness, like the shade of deep space. Not cold, just clear. It touches your face, your throat, the curve of your chest, and then slips away again, leaving everything quiet. You are surrounded by this gentle, endless night, and it asks nothing from you. Above, the stars seem to breathe with you. When you inhale, they brighten just a little. When you exhale, they soften, dimming to a quiet glow, as if the whole sky is moving with the rhythm of your chest, rising and falling in a slow cosmic tide. You might notice how far the earth feels now. All the streets and rooms and conversations, all the lists and decisions and small, sharp moments. They are tucked down on a tiny blue world, turning slowly in the dark. You are not ignoring them. You are just higher, watching from a place where their noise cannot reach. Here, in this stillness, the night itself is a kind of blanket, not over your skin, but around your being. It wraps around your thoughts, around your breath, around the small, tired corners of your mind. It doesn't tighten. It doesn't close in. It simply rests around you, the way the sky rests around a quiet hill. Each exhale carries you a little farther into this softness. As you breathe out, your shoulders sink deeper into the unseen support beneath you. Your jaw slackens. Your tongue settles heavily in your mouth. Even the tiny muscles around your eyes seem to drift apart, like constellations slowly widening over centuries. Thoughts may still pass through. They can appear like distant galaxies, spirals of light turning calmly in the far reaches of your mind. You can see them if you like. You can also let them be faint smudges on the horizon, interesting but far away. Nothing in you needs to chase them. They can spin on without you. The darkness here is not the absence of things. It is a presence, thick and kind, like ink that has learned how to be gentle. It fills the spaces between your ribs, between your fingers, between one breath and the next. Where there used to be tension, the night quietly settles in, taking up residence in the gaps, smoothing them out. Your body becomes less of a solid object and more of a constellation, a soft cluster of points. The heaviness in your hips is one star. The warmth in your chest is another. The slow pulse in your hands, tiny twin suns. All of them suspended in this endless dark cradle. Each one glowing with its own quiet life, without needing to do anything at all. If a worry tries to rise, you might imagine it as a small satellite, circling far away. It moves along its path, predictable and distant. You don't have to pull it down. You don't have to fix its orbit. It can continue its slow, harmless loop, while you rest here, outside its pull. The night sky holds an old, patient silence. It has watched countless days begin and end. It has seen every story, every fear, every joy, flicker for a while and then soften. It knows that everything bright and urgent eventually becomes a faint, gentle glow. You are resting in that knowing now. Beneath you, The darkness is as deep as above. You are suspended in it, as if the whole sky has turned into a hammock, stretching from horizon to horizon. There is nowhere to fall, nowhere to climb, only this steady, effortless suspension. Your breathing has its own orbit. In, out, a slow, circular path that never needs to hurry. Each cycle carries you around the same quiet center, again and again, until even the idea of again dissolves, and there is only this moment, and this one, and this one. The more you rest here, the more the idea of you spreads out. Not lost, just wider, like a soft mist of stars drifting through the dark, no longer bound to a single point. Your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, they all become tiny lights scattered across the sky, gentle and far apart. None of them pressing in, none of them demanding. All around, the darkness hums with a sound you can't quite hear. A low cosmic hush, the kind of quiet that exists between heartbeats, between words, between one life and the next. You are nestled inside that hush now, not separate from it, part of it. If you listen with the part of you that is very, very tired, you might notice how the night is already carrying you. You don't have to hold yourself up. You don't have to stay alert. The sky has taken that role for a while. You can soften into its arms, the way a small planet leans into its orbit, trusting the invisible pull that keeps it from drifting away. Stars continue to appear in the corners of your awareness, some bright, some faint. Each one a tiny reminder that there is more light than your mind can keep track of. You don't need to name them. You don't need to remember where they are. They will keep shining whether you watch them or not. So you drift, weightless but held, surrounded but spacious. The night sky gathers you in, vast and quiet, until even the thought of where you end and it begins feels unimportant. There is only this dark, gentle expanse, and you resting inside it, like a single, soft star finally allowed to dim for the night. The weight of your body has its own quiet gravity now, heavy where it meets the bed, soft everywhere else. As you breathe out, imagine an elevator door sliding closed with a gentle hush. No rush, just that smooth meeting of edges, a faint click as everything seals. Inside this elevator, it is dim and calm. The air is still, like a room that has been resting for a long time. You are standing or sitting or lying here in your own way, held by invisible cables that are strong and silent. Somewhere high above, the day continues. But here you are between floors, between moments, in the quiet space where nothing needs to move quickly. With the next slow exhale, feel the elevator begin to descend. Not with a jolt, more like the softest tug downward, a suggestion of motion. Your body may not move at all, yet something in you understands. You are going down through layers, through floors of thoughts and plans and old conversations, passing them the way you might pass closed doors in a hallway. Each floor is a layer of the day, a layer of effort, a layer of watching and managing and holding things together. You do not have to step out on any of those floors. You can simply watch the numbers drift by in your mind, or not even watch. Just feel the gentle, steady sinking. The lights inside this elevator are soft and low, enough to see the outline of your own presence, not enough to disturb anything. Edges blur, the way they do when your eyes are almost closed. Notice the quiet hum beneath you, like a low, steady note that never demands attention. It is the sound of being carried, the sound of something else doing the work. Your shoulders can follow that downward pull, sinking a little deeper into the mattress, like sand settling after a wave has passed through it. Each grain finding its own resting place. The muscles around your eyes loosen, as though a tight knot has been unthreaded. Your jaw slackens, no longer holding words. Your tongue rests quietly, heavy and still. Everything in your face is descending into softness. The elevator continues down, past the floor where you remember what needs to be done tomorrow, past the floor where old worries pace in circles, past the floor where you replay what you said, what you didn't say. Those floors exist. They always will. But the doors stay closed as you pass. You are simply traveling by. Each breath out is like pressing a button that says lower. A calm, unhurried choice. Down to a quieter level, and then quieter still. The sense of time begins to loosen. Numbers on a panel that no longer matter. You are not late. You are not early. Here, there is only the slow descent. The feeling of being drawn downward through layers of tension, through layers of thought, through layers of old alertness that no longer need to stand guard. Inside this elevator, your body becomes less defined. The borders blur. Arms and legs are simply weight, resting where they are, like fine dust settling evenly across a still surface. You may notice how your hands feel heavier now, as if they have sunk an inch deeper into the bed. Fingers loose, curved in their own natural shape. Nothing to hold, nothing to grip. Every worry you carry today is like a tiny grain of sand suspended in water. At first, they floated around you, clouding the glass. Now, one by one, they drift downward. Slow spirals, faint and lazy. They settle on the bottom, forming a soft, quiet layer. No longer swirling, no longer obscuring anything, just resting at last. You do not need to sort them. You do not need to name them. They know where to go. Gravity does the sorting for you. The elevator sinks below the level of words, below the level of clear, sharp thoughts. Here, ideas are only shapes in the distance, soft outlines you can barely see. If a thought appears, it is like watching a floor number light up and fade. You notice it for a moment. Then the elevator moves on, down to the next quiet. Your chest rises and falls in its own rhythm. Each inhale a gentle pause in the descent. Each exhale a small release downward. A deeper settling. The back of your head feels heavier now, as if the pillow has thickened beneath it, supporting, cradling, absorbing the last echoes of the day. The bed beneath you is your lowest floor. Imagine the elevator moving through the building of your body, past the level of your forehead, where thoughts used to gather, past the level of your throat, where words used to wait, down through your chest, where feelings once fluttered and pushed. With each level, the lights grow dimmer, warmer, the air thicker with quiet. By the time you reach the level of your stomach, everything is slower, heavier. The elevator keeps descending, past your hips, past your thighs, down to the deep, steady weight of your legs and feet. At the lowest level, there is only the soft pull of the earth, the simple fact of being held from below. No effort, no decision. Your whole body is like sand that has finally finished falling through the hourglass. No more movement, no more turning, just a smooth, even layer of stillness. Thoughts may still drift through, but they do not stir the sand. They pass like a faint vibration in a distant wall, barely felt, easily forgotten. Here, in this depth, even your name becomes less important. It is just another floor you have passed, another label on a button, far above where you are now. All that matters is the sinking, the gradual surrender to weight and warmth and quiet, as if you are disappearing into the mattress, molecule by molecule. At some point, the elevator no longer needs to move. It simply rests at the lowest level. Doors closed, lights low, humming softly. Everything that needed to descend has descended. You are not trying to sleep. You are not trying to do anything. You are just here, at the bottom of the building of yourself, where the air is still and the floor is solid. If sleep wants to find you, it knows exactly where you are. Here, in this deep, quiet level, where every grain of worry has settled and nothing stirs the dust. Somewhere nearby, a small music box is still playing. Not loud, not bright, just a thin, gentle thread of sound winding toward the end. Each note is clear at first. You can almost feel the tiny metal teeth catching the tune, one by one. A soft, careful turning, a little circle of sound. Then the spring loosens, the melody slows. What was once steady begins to lean, just slightly, into quiet. You can hear the space between the notes growing wider, like a room that has been slowly emptied of voices. What remains is only the soft echo of what has already passed through. One more phrase. The familiar pattern almost completes itself. Almost. The next note arrives a fraction later than you expect. It hangs in the air a moment longer, as if the music itself is growing drowsy. The tiny gears keep moving, but with less insistence. They do not rush. They do not hold on. They simply unwind. Your breath has its own rhythm beside it, rising, falling, a quieter companion to this fading song. As the melody slows, your thoughts slow with it. They had been moving quickly once. Now they move like that last turn of the key. A small, gentle click, and then nothing more to wind. Another note. It arrives softer now, as though cushioned by the air. The sound seems to know it is almost done. There is a sweetness in the last measures. The tune does not fight the ending. It leans into it, the way your body leans into the mattress. Held without effort. You do not have to follow every note. They can pass by without being counted. They are finishing themselves, whether watched or not. The line of music shortens. What was once a long ribbon of sound is now a few small threads. A single phrase, a single tone. One of the final notes trembles slightly, not quite in tune, not quite steady, and somehow that makes it even softer, even more human. Between the sounds, the silence grows thicker, not empty, just full of resting things. Your worries have become like unwound springs. No tension left in them, nothing pulling tight, just loose metal, quiet in the dark. You are allowed to forget the melody halfway through, to stop remembering how it began, to only know that it is ending and that this is gentle. Another small cluster of notes drifts out. They barely touch your awareness now, like someone humming from another room, with the door almost closed. The last clear tone appears without announcement. It does not declare itself as the final one. It simply arrives, does its small shining, and fades. For a moment, you think there might be one more. Your ears wait. The air waits. Nothing comes. That nothing has its own softness, a kind of hush that settles over everything. The way a room feels when the refrigerator stops humming, and you realize how much sound there had been. In this quiet, your breath is the only steady song, slow, uncomplicated. Already half asleep, you do not have to hold on to the tune that has finished. It has gone where all songs go when they are done. Not lost, just no longer needing to be heard. The music box rests now, its key unwound, its tiny teeth still. Around it, silence gathers like a blanket, layer upon layer of unspoken sound, soft, weightless. Every worry that once tried to keep time with the music has missed its chance. The rhythm is over. There is nothing left for them to cling to. Only this gentle absence of notes, this wide, quiet room of sound that has stopped. Here, in the after music, even your thoughts grow shy. They speak more slowly. They're not at all. Just the faintest memory of a melody remains, and even that is starting to blur at the edges. Soon, there will be only breathing. And then, not even the need to notice that. The last notes have faded. The box is still. The night holds everything that remains. And in that holding, you drift into the soft, unwound silence that has been waiting for you all along. And here you are, just here. Breath moving, body held, nothing to fix, nothing to solve. The day is already behind you. It can stay there now. Your thoughts can wander if they want to. They can drift. They can fade. They can circle back. You do not have to follow any of them. There is nowhere you need to be. You are already where you are. The weight of your body is enough. The softness beneath you is enough. If a worry appears, it can pass by like a quiet sound in another room. Not your job to answer it. Not your job to hold it. Breath in, breath out. The rhythm is simple. It has always known what to do. You can rest inside that rhythm now. If the mind stirs, that is all right. If it slows, that is all right. Every way you are, right now, is all right. Nothing is required of you tonight. You can feel how the moments are stretching out. Longer, softer. More space between one thought and the next. More space between one breath and the next. You are carried through each one. There is a kind of quiet that does not need to be perfect. Just this, just enough. If sleep comes, it will come on its own. If it takes its time, you are still resting. This is still rest. You have set so much down. You do not need to pick anything back up. Not now. The night can hold what you cannot hold. It can keep watch while you drift. You can be as you are, no better, no different. Just here, breathing, supported. Soft around the edges. Thoughts a little farther away. You are allowed to fade from the day, to blur at the edges of waking. Nothing to remember, nothing to plan. Only this easy, slow unwinding. If a part of you is still awake, it can rest too. It can lie down beside the quieter parts. All of you can be still. Even if the mind moves, the body can stay heavy and calm. Even if the body shifts, the heart can stay gentle and slow. Everything in you can move at its own pace. There is no rush, no clock. Only this soft, open stretch of night. You have come far enough for now. You can stay right here. Breath moving on its own. The world a little dimmer. The room a little quieter. You no longer needing to manage anything. Just the faint sense of being held. Of lying here. Of drifting. And if sleep is near, it can draw closer. If it is already here, you can sink into it. If it is still a little way off, that is all right too. You are already resting, already easing down, already far from the noise of the day. Nothing more you need to do. Only this, only being here. As the words grow fewer, as the spaces grow wider, as the night gathers around you, and you drift in your own way, in your own time. Quiet now, just quiet, just here.